So we're just gonna call a thing a thing. You were a child abuser. You were. You were, and you liked it. You did. I remember the first time I saw you laughing. Um, it was when, like, you do you remember when you had started? Do you remember? Of course you remember. You remember all the things you did, I'm sure. You you started hitting us on our hands with the extension cord because you said that if you hit us on the insides of our hands, then it wouldn't leave a mark. It wouldn't leave a welt or whatever, right? Which it didn't. And of course, you try not to go past our wrist because then you be getting into like the other, like a sensitive part of our body. So that would probably be easy to bruise right there. So you hit us on the insides of our hands. Still hurt. Still hurt a lot. But you know what hurt worse was the the fact that you enjoyed it. You laughed. I remember seeing you laugh because I couldn't really believe what I was seeing for real. Hold on. I really couldn't believe what I was seeing. But you were laughing. Yeah. It wasn't the only time you had done it that you had laughed. So I knew for sure that I wasn't mistaken. That you really actually enjoyed enjoyed it. Hmm. So then, I asked myself, well, what kind of man, you know, what kind of man could do that? What kind of man would find some type of enjoyment from this, some type of entertainment from disciplining, you know, his children? And I couldn't, you know, I couldn't really like make that connection really in my mind, but like of what type of man would, that would, who, like, how, why? There's so many questions, so many questions as to what kind of a man. And then I think is that even if that person, never did it again, right? I mean, you did it, for however long, for whatever reason he stopped, you know. We'll get into that reason another time, but for whatever reason he stopped. Um, but he did do it though. Like he was capable of it because he did it. So if he stops doing it, does he ever does he ever really go into a different standing? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, does that person become a good person because they stop doing it for whatever reason? See, in my mind, that's a no. See, that's a no because if that person was ever capable of and did it, and stopped for whatever reason, just the simple fact that they did it was capable and really is probably just a one good rage fest away from doing it again. does that person standing ever really change with you? And that's my question, because I believe that there are a lot of times, and I'm taking the focus off of my father for a moment. But there are times when, we allow time to pass, or, things to happen, where we almost forget who we were dealing with. Where it's like we almost let ourselves have that moment of where you feel you're a little too comfortable. You're becoming complacent, and you're forgetting who you're dealing with. And sometimes we get to that, we get in that space where we think, okay, well, it's been a few years. It's that person's have served their time, has done, given their time to society or whatever. So maybe that person has changed. But you have to remember that there is a mindset of a person that you can't ignore. And sometimes, more than likely, time has no bearing on that. Instead, most times it really makes people worse, more calculated, more manipulative, and just a little bit better at doing wrong. They generally don't change. They just become better at it. So back to my father. That's what you did. That's what you did. You were finding new creative ways to abuse us. You say, okay, wait, I'm leaving marks and stuff on there. I'm leaving stuff on them. I'm cutting their skin. I'm leaving them bloody. So let me figure out another way to abuse them that doesn't get me caught. That doesn't reveal what I'm doing to them. Not that, this is not, an effective way of disciplining my children. I'm hurting them, and what good is it doing? No. I'm doing this. I'm laughing while I'm doing it. I'm clearly enjoying it. And let me just figure out a better way to do this so that I won't get caught. So what kind of a man is capable? And does that person standing with you change? Should your standing with me change when I know what you're capable of? How is anyone safe around you? How is anyone safe around you when the people that you created weren't safe? And that's no kind of a man that I would call my father, my pastor, my anything. In my mind, that person, that man doesn't deserve to exist. But that's not my call. But I know that's not anyone that I would want in my life. And that's who you are. You are that kind of man. And I don't want you. Bye-bye for now.